Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode, which one is it now? 281.
281.
Amazing Keeping Notes with Google Keep. And we have a special guest here today. It should be a lot of fun. We are an educational show about smartphones and technology, and we are geeks on tour. I'm Jim. And she's Chris. And Google Keep is the thing we're talking about today. Tell them about it, Chris.
A better way to keep all those notes. Do you have sticky notes all over your desk? This is a better way. And we Google Keep is something that I do use, but I'm one of those typical users. I know that I only use a tiny fraction of its capabilities, and I wanted to learn more. So we've brought Michael Daniels on, who is a big fan of Google Keep. But just in case you are one who doesn't even know what Google Keep is, we want to start with a little tutorial on just what it is and how to get started with it. Video. How do you remember all of those little but important things of life? Do you write them down? Do you use an app? Don't tell me that you just keep them all up here. Even if you're not as old as I am, that's just not possible. An app is the way to go, and I want you to know about the Google offering called Google Keep. The way you get started with Google Keep is just to install the app on a mobile device and sign in with your Google account. It's all free. And then you just start adding notes. Whenever you think of something that you need to remember, make a note. On the computer, there's no software. You just go to the website keep.google.com. You do need a Google account, the same one that you use for Gmail and Google Docs and everything else. I'm Chris Gold with Geeks on Tour. Let me show you how it's done. I'm going to start with my Android, my Samsung phone, and show you the app. So I have the app right on my main home screen because I keep notes all the time. But if you have an Android, it very likely is pre-installed in this group called Google Keep Notes. And if not, you just go to the Play Store, search for Google Keep, and install it. It's free. So I'm going to open up Google Keep, and you'd have to be signed in with a Google account. This is my account, and I have a lot of notes. I want you to see a brand new account, blank Keep Notes, so I'm going to change to our imaginary friend Alan. He has never written a note before, so he is just presented with these welcome messages. Let's say he wants to write a note. He has just met his new next door neighbor and wants to remember his name. So I'm going to give this note a title of new neighbor and then write his name. That will come in handy. Now, you don't have to save a note. It is saved for you automatically, so you just back out. I now have one note in this account. Next, he's going to lunch with a friend named Emily, and Emily insists on paying for the lunch, says, you catch it next time. So he wants to take a note of that. Note and plus and lunch. So there, he has it written down so he won't forget it. No need to save, just back out. I now have two notes. Next, we're going back home and use the computer. On the computer, to get to Google Keep, you just open a browser and type keep.google.com. Make sure you're signed in with the same account as on the phone, and the notes you wrote using the phone are going to show up here on the computer. Alan gets a phone call from his accountant saying it's time to send in your quarterly reports, and so he wants to write a to-do list item. So rather than just a simple note, this one is going to be a list. So click New List and then List Item. And I'm going to call this list my to-do list. And he has a couple other things he wants to add to his to-do list. Once you have several items on a list, it works really cool. If you want to change the priority, notice just hovering over, you get these 6 dots over here, which means you can drag and reprioritize the items on your list. And when you've completed an item on the box, and it gives you a very satisfactory crossed out item down at the bottom. And last, I want to show you Google Keep on the iPad. Yes, there is an app on Apple as well. Just go to your App Store and search for Google Keep and install it. As long as you are signed in with the same Google account as on the others, you will see the same notes. It works the same way on an iPad as it does on all the others. You just open it up, make sure you're signed in with the same account, and you tap the plus. Let's say a friend just sent me a recipe via text message. Well, I'll go to the text message and copy it. Then in Keep, I will add and long press and paste. I want to give it a title, and I'm done. My iPad is a great device to have in the kitchen when you're cooking. There's so much more that Google Keep can help you with in keeping all of those thoughts from your life, but this should get you started.
That's great.
All right.
All right.
So get started.
Get started. Hi, everyone. I'm Jim, and here together with my wife, Chris, we are Geeks on Tour. Do you think your smartphone is smarter than you? And do you have questions about your iPhone or your Android tablet, and how do you learn?
Well, we are geeks, also known as propeller heads, thus the silly hats, but we are geeks who teach, and we think the best way to learn is in bite-sized pieces on a regular basis. So we do this show twice a month now, and we pick a topic that we think is useful to our audience, to us, basically. It's useful to us, and if you are like us, it'd be useful to you. And we go into a little bit of depth. All of our content is collected on our website at geeksontour.com. We invite you to go take a look.
Yeah, Chris, where are we now?
We're home, but we just spent last week in the Cayman Islands scuba diving, and if you want to take a look at the photo album, that's what that QR code there is for.
We had a great time, took some underwater photos and videos, and
came back with a little case of COVID, but
just a small one.
Yeah, just a small case of COVID, but we had a great time while we were there. Little Cayman, if you've never heard of it, the Cayman Islands is 3 islands, Grand, Little, and Cayman Brac. And Little Cayman has a great dive resort, so we've been there a few times in the past.
And we plan to go again.
And just a comment, if you are watching this episode not live, if you've come sometime later and you want to skip this chit-chat, in a day or two, I add chapters. So there will be markers for each section of this video, and you can jump to whatever you want.
We want to thank our premium members. You're the ones that make all of this possible for us and for you. And you can join our membership at geeksontour.com/join now. It's $68 for 1 year, $58 if you have a recurring membership. We encourage you to support Geeks on Tour, like many of our friends back here. One of the advantages, the benefits of being a premium member is an online Zoom meeting right after this show. You get a link in an email that Chris sends out earlier in the day, or you can go to the website, geeksontour.com, to the member login page. Log in there, and there's that link right there. You can click on that and get into the Zoom meeting. It's a great time. We really do enjoy our community.
We have a good time doing it, yeah.
Come in, join us.
You can get any questions answered that weren't answered during the show.
And I'm sure Michael will be backstage after his part of the show and answering questions too. All right.
So, speaking of Michael, yes, we're going to talk about Google Keep, and Michael knows a lot more about it than we do. We invite you to visit his YouTube channel. He has hundreds of tutorial videos. He is a product expert like I am, but in lots more products. So, welcome, Michael.
Hey,
Hey, how are you?
it works.
And you're coming to us from South Carolina, right?
I am, yes. A little town called Greer, South Carolina. Yes.
And you've
Yep.
been using Google products and especially Google Keep for how long?
Yeah, it's been a while. So I would say as soon as Google Hangouts started and they're not even existent anymore, that's really when I started. That's really when I got interested. And Google Plus was kind of my wow, what is
Right.
this kind of thing? You know, one of those kind of things. And that's kind of where I got started. So yes,
Yeah,
long
so
time.
so many people loved and miss Google Plus.
Agreed.
And you well, I'll let you go on. But one
That's
thing
all
that's
right. That's
one
okay.
other thing that's different about you than us is you have a
Mhm.
regular day job. I mean, a
I
real
do.
job.
I
So
do.
so you will be showing a little bit about Keep for actual business uses as well as just remembering your neighbor's name, which
That's
is
right.
what I use it
That's
for.
right. Yeah, after that video, I guess I don't really have much to talk about. No,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
kidding.
right. Okay.
No, that was
Well,
a good job though. That was a good job explaining. That was a very good job. You did
oh,
well
thank
with
you.
that.
Well,
Hmm.
we'll let you take it away then and teach us more about Google Keep.
Okay, sure. Absolutely. So one of the things that I absolutely love, and like she mentioned, I'm a Google product expert, and I don't want to set everybody's device off. So instead of saying that, I'm going to say G from this point forward. But if I do accidentally do it, I hope I'm not setting your devices off in your house. But anyway, I am a product expert for G Assistant. So that is a big use for me and my wife, especially at home and us at work too. I work with my brother, sit right next to him in an office. So there's a lot of times, and it's kind of what I'm gonna go into. Let me just kind of share my screen so I can show you guys. Um, these are the things I'm going to talk about today. Okay, Google Keep. I'm going to talk about the assistant and shared notes. That's probably the first one that I go over, and then voice notes, and I'll show you how that works on my phone, which is super awesome, cool. And then I'm going to grab text from a photo. So I'm going to actually move around in my office. I wanted to do this live so you can see that I didn't just have a predetermined uh, um, photo. I was going to do that. Then I said, no, why don't I do it? Because I got a TV sitting right behind me. Let me do this live. So who knows if that's going to work, how to grab text and different stuff like that. So I'm going to show you that. And then label for notes. I'm a very organized person for a product that's not always easy because it's just running notes. It's not like you can sit there and sort them and all this kind of stuff. You can, but you got to manually do that. So all of that being said, those are the topics that I'm going to get into and show you today. So let's get right into it. So one of the biggest ones and the best ones, and I'm going to demo this by showing you my Keep on my computer. So you're going to be able to see this actually happen as we go. So this is one of the cool things that I like is that it happens right away. And so I'm going to kind of briefly show you my screen again. And this is what my Keep looks like. I've designed it to have color coding. You can kind of see different colored ones. That's part of the labeling process. We'll get into that a little bit later, but I'm going to show you my grocery list because I want you to see this actually work. Right now you can hopefully see, and if you can't, it says apples, distilled water, milk, and I'll zoom in so you can see these a little bit better, but you'll see something come in, whatever I add, above apples. So let me do that right now. I'm going to talk to my assistant. So if you have your assistant, you might want to turn the volume down or something because I'm going to activate mine. So I'm going to turn around to my device and I'm going to say, okay, Google, add almonds to the grocery list. And let's see how this works. Almonds to the list called grocery list. Okay, so she says she added it, but I don't see it yet. We're going to wait and see. Hopefully it happens. And of course, it's not going to come on, right? And we did this. Chris knows we did this before, so I'm going to share on my phone. How's that? Let me switch
Yeah,
over to my
or
phone.
just refresh. I think on the
Yeah,
computer, don't you maybe need to
that's true.
refresh?
That's true. I'll refresh. There it is. It added
Yeah,
almonds. So
yeah.
now it's there. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. So it did work, but it immediately works on the phone. So that's what, because I was looking over at my phone over on this list, and I'm going to switch over that real quick. Let me just slide over there. This one over here, you can see right here on the grocery list. This is what the same list, but it looks like this on the phone, and I have dark mode on my phone. So this is why this is like this. So let's do another one real quick and see if it pops up right away on the phone, just so you can see. Okay, Google, add pineapple to the grocery list.
All right, I added pineapple to the list called grocery list.
Now it's going to make a liar of me there too as well. So again, I probably have to refresh because it's just sitting there, but there it is. It's there. Pineapple. So these are the kind of things. This is awesome. This is great. Assistant is so nice because I can share this list with my wife, who's also on the G Assistant inside my home. So we can both add stuff to that grocery list. And I don't know if you saw this, but I'm going to go back and show you something else that is super awesome. My mom, she's love her to death. She's getting up there in age a little bit. And I have a grocery list that is right here. And it says mom's list. And again, I have to zoom in a little bit, but this is her list. So she has her own list. And I can go shopping for her, or my brother and sister are all shared on this list as well. So any one of us can go shopping for her if she needs help, or we're out shopping and we say, hey, look, I'm going to get these 6 things off your list. We can do that because it's a shared list. I can add something because I'm shared on her, even though I'm not in her house. This is the beauty of this. I can say, since the title of that is Mom's List, I can say, add peanut butter to Mom's list, of course, doing the assistant and everything else, which is so convenient. I can actually add stuff to her list if I needed to. If we're at lunch talking and she forgets or something, and I can just sit there and say, oh, I'll add it. Let me add it real quick. And boom, I can do that. One thing I'm going to go back over to, I mean, I know I'm bouncing back and forth, but I'm going to go back to this list. Every Wednesday I do a show. And so what I do is I do a show. Here's a list that I can create to actually ideas that I have for that Wednesday show. These are ideas for daily tips. You can kind of see right here, YouTube banner, make sure it's set for mobile as well. This is a tip that I can go and do. These are ideas that I'm thinking of in my daily tips. What's nice about this, Heather, who used to be a part of the H&M show, we were Heather and Michael, I could share that list. So any ideas that we have or a topic during the week, we could just pull up that list. And because we both had that list, we can do that. So shared notes. So that was my first topic. I think I covered that one, sharing notes. I love the ability to be able to do that. Real quick, I'm going to talk about one more. One thing I like to do, and it's part of voice note, which is what I'm going to get into next, and I'll show you that, because this is a huge fun feature that I'm able to do. And I'm going to go over to my mobile phone to show you this, because it's kind of part of the next topic, voice note, but also using the assistant. I can hold down on Google Keep for this is my Google Keep icon on my Android phone. I can hold down on it for about 2 seconds. Oh, hold on. Let me make sure that this is, turned on there, and it pops up. I can do it immediate. I can do a new text note. I can do a new list note. I can do a new photo note, talk about that one later, and a new audio note. This is super fantastic. The reason I love the audio note is because it actually takes an audio note, but it also transcribes it for me. So let's do that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to pretend that some guy just called me on the phone and he is with such and such company, and I'm going to make up a number, and it's going to take all that information for me as we go. So I'm going to show you, this is what I do at work as opposed to doing yellow Post-it notes. So let's do this. So let's do a test. What I would do is do exactly what I did. I would hold down about 2 seconds to open up this little menu. And then I'm going to hit new audio note while I'm on the phone talking to this guy. Okay, so you're Bob Johnson. You're with ABC Company. And your phone number is oops, see, you got to be fast with it. Okay, so I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. Try this again. I'm going to delete that. Go back. I knew this, it's kind of tougher when you're on the phone like this, but I'm going to go ahead and let me start over because it works. Trust me, I do it all the time. Okay, so you're Bob Johnson with ABC Company, and you are at 555-123-456. There you go. I've got too many numbers, but all right. Everything you say, it's recording, and he can, if it's on speakerphone, he's going to get it too. So there you go. Bob Johnson, ABC, there's the number, all the stuff that I talked about, and it has the audio as well. I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear it, but I'm going to play it. 555-123-456. There you go. Got too many numbers. Super cool. This is super awesome. And now all I do is I share this with my brother. I hit the plus sign down at the bottom. Oh, I'm sorry, not the plus sign. I hit the 3 dots. I said the wrong thing. Sorry about that. 3 dots. And I'm going to collaborate and add my brother. And I'm not going to pull him up because it'll put my email address and all that, and his email address and all that kind of stuff. But that is amazing. And a voice note, I do them all the time. So useful and helpful to add this and get, oh, it's just so much better than all those. I love Chris's image when she had it. She had all the little Post-it notes all over this place.
And that,
it's so much easier.
That really is such a cool thing. I don't do this anymore, but there was a day when I was a lawyer and you had to record every 10 minutes of work that you did. And you were forever using back then it was just a recorder to have it and then a secretary would have to go through and transcribe. You know,
that's right.
Here, just boom, record and it's transcribed. That is a really, really cool one.
I know. And if my brother's driving, instead of sitting there reading that long text that I gave him, he just hits that play button. He can listen to the message that way. So convenient. I mean, just so convenient. It's a really cool tool for free.
Right, right.
I mean,
oh, and that is one question. I said for free, but I want to make it very clear, or correct me if I'm wrong. You can have thousands of notes with photos and audio and text, and it's not even using the space in your Google storage, cloud storage, right?
That's correct.
It doesn't count. So
right now,
right?
Knock on wood. We always have to say that, but yes. I mean, it does right now. It does not count, and how convenient is that, right? I mean, that is just super fantastic when it comes to that kind of stuff. So, all right. The next one on my list is grab text from photo. This is one that I use. I love doing this with I have monitors, I have computers, I have TVs, I have a brand new thing I just bought. I want to have the model number, and sometimes I register them, you know, that kind of thing. So I'm going to take my phone. I'm going to do some of this. I'm going to go behind my TV. So you might not hear me that well, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a picture of my TV. You're going to see me do this live. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let me pull up, I'm going to pull up my phone so you can see where I am in Keep. So I'm on a new one. So here's my Keep on my mobile. If I hit the plus sign, well, maybe if I hit it, doesn't want to hit it when I'm down. Okay. So there, I just hit it. Sorry. And I'm going to do what she said she was going to do earlier. I think she said that, but I'm going to do actually a photo. Oh my gosh, it does not want to work when it's laying down. I don't know why it's not working right now, but it has an option here, take a photo. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to go behind my computer. And again, you're probably not going to hear me too well, or my TV screen back here. Here, I'll switch over to this screen so you can see me doing it. I'm going to go back here. I hope it's on this side. And of course it's not. And I think it's this is going to be fun. I'm going to try. This is going to be great. So I'm going to turn this and I'm going to try and take a picture right here of the back of my, this is so I don't have to get back behind there. Let's see if it took a picture. No idea whether it took a picture. Nope, took a picture of me. Okay. So here's what happens. Let me go. I'm going to go get a picture of another TV to make this easier. I should have done this ahead of time, but I didn't. But I'll be right back. Give me a second. Give me a second. You guys come on screen and talk about me.
Okay. Well, just in case you didn't follow that, what he's doing, he's saying on the back of TVs and other equipment, there's like serial numbers and stuff, and it is impossible to see that. And he can just take a photo of it with his phone. He can even use the flash, get a good photo of it. And then Google Keep can grab the text from that photo. Now, if you've been watching us for a long time, you know that Google Photos can do that too. But Google Keep is even better. Okay.
All right. Sorry about that. I really should have just had this pre-planned, but I wanted to try and do it live and I couldn't, and I didn't have the TV set up right. So anyway, so here we go. So back to this. So here's what I got. If you look here, you can see this is a mixing board that we use for our band. Okay. So here is, I took a picture of the back of that just because it was close and it was easy. Try and zoom in a little bit so you can see this a little better. But what it has is it has a model number. It has all the different information back there that I might need, a serial number, et cetera, et cetera. Well, one thing that's awesome about this, by doing this in Google Keep, I can say, okay, yes, I want this picture. And now I have this picture that'll hopefully come up. There it is. There's the picture. If I tap on the picture,
I might ask you to hold this and let me take a picture of it.
I have to tap on the picture. When I tap on the picture, I hit the 3 dots in the top and see where it says grab image text. That's what I want to be able to do. So it's going to tell me whether it did it. And sometimes, yeah, see, it says can't recognize text. So you might have to do it more than once. This is very common. I'm just telling you this. Hit the 3 dots, grab image text grabbed. So now all that information that's on that thing, the model number, the serial number, everything is right there. And I have a serial number on every single product I have. I love this. This works so well and it is so useful.
And
every single thing. Yeah.
And can I show one more? It will even do handwriting. Maybe not completely accurate, but so for example, I have this little note of some notes I wrote about a recipe, my notes on a recipe. And I'm going to have Jim hold that up, and with Google Keep, I will take a photo. So I'm not opening the camera to take a photo, I'm opening Google Keep, adding a note to take a photo, and I take a photo. Okay. Now I click OK, and here is the photo with Jim's hands holding it and all. And you can probably hardly even see the text, but that is my hand-printed note of a recipe. And I tap the 3 dots, as Michael said, and grab image text. And yes, I found every time I did this, the first try, it said can't recognize text. But the second try, it was instant. Image text grabbed, and there is my handwriting converted into a typewritten note.
Yes.
Just amazing.
I know, I love it. I love it.
Okay.
Seriously, I mean, this will be the product that you use. I mean, I use it all the time, and it's great if you think of it like it all depends on how you. I want to kind of show my screen one more time on this, on the topics and your list. Make sure your list. This is the top, like grocery list, mom's list, Wednesday show, daily tips. Make sure you don't double up on those. Make sure it's unique a lot of times. So if it's something you want to come back to or add something to, especially if it's a list, and you can kind of see some of the things like Terry on game night. These are ideas that I was doing for that. And when we did a funny video, this was the line by line. This is me taking notes. And anytime I wanted to add something, I would just add a note to Terry game night or whatever. So it would recognize that list. That's a key thing though. You know, these are things on the Pixel Watch 2, whatever you're doing, that kind of thing. And like you said, take pictures and then get the stuff off of it. You can see right here, one of the phones we had, I got the IMEI number, all of the information on my watch. Oh, that was my watch. That's right. And it took all that information and I have it. I love this kind of stuff. So I'd used it for codes and passcodes. And that's the last section that I want to get into. If you look over here on the left, my list over here is probably a lot different of yours if you don't use this a lot and you're just starting with it. What is your little guy that you always use his account that you just started tonight? So he's probably only going to have 2 or 3 things, right? But anyway, so mine has anything, food, fun. I categorize everything, H&M, helpful codes, mailing, personal products, QuickBooks. This is for work stuff. They're all in blue. I always make sure that I can recognize them that way. Remember things to remember that I don't want to forget, things like that, like where I put something. If I put something in my roll top desk, I want to know what that is, those kind of things. I can edit labels, I can archive, and then I can use the trash. And you have 7 days that you can put something in the trash, and I think it's gone after 7 days. I think I threw something in there. Yeah. It says right here, notes and trash are deleted after 7 days automatically. So if you do an empty note, which happens quite a bit, because sometimes you start to do a note and then you don't do anything with it, it automatically goes away in 7 days. So that being said, one thing that I love to do is search. Search is so awesome. There are hundreds. Watch, I'm going to go here. I'm going to go. There's tons. I could just keep going and going and going. This, I think I have 200 something notes. But if I go like this and hit search, I can go just to specific. If I want to get all of my notes that are just lists, I can click on this and it'll just give me notes with lists. Any note that has an image, I can search that. Any note that has a recording, I can just search that. And there's more types. I'm not going to go into all these because we could spend all day doing this, but I love this. All those labels that I created, food, fun, H&M. H&M was Heather and Michael's show, so that's my show. Helpful notes. Then it has some that it does as well. So you have like food, groceries, movies, music. So you have all of those kind of things too. And there's a whole bunch more there. Then people that I've shared with, Chris and I shared a list. So I have her on a list. These are, if I wanted to go just to, because I know maybe we have limited notes sharing, I can go just the notes with her. And then colors. I'm a big color coordinated kind of guy kind of thing. I can remember I told you that blue was, and I don't understand all these names that it has, but if I go to that fog, there it is. There's all the stuff on work, how to do the payroll, how to do taxes, all that kind of stuff. So I can immediately search and go because I know blue is that color. If it's H&M with Heather and I, when we do our show and stuff, these are every pink. It's pink colored notes. I did that for her because she loved pink. But I just had to share and show you the share part of or finding huge deal and a big deal when it comes to notes because there's no way to organize. I'm going to show you one more thing. I guess I popped off a little too quick, but I'm going to go one more thing. I can drag these notes. Let's say I wanted this note above this one. I can do this. I can take this and I can drag it and I can move it right there, which works well. But if you have something way down that you want to move up, it's going to take a while because you got to sit there, drag and drag and drag. And then once you're in here, like if I'm in here for fun, these are things that I do for fun. If I want to drag this up, so music for game show on YouTube, it won't. You see how I'm trying to grab it. I cannot move that up. This is one of the things that I have sent feedback on that I do not care for. And I wish you would too, is you can't really sort within a label. Chris, Jim, that's what I got. That's what I wanted to share today. Hopefully that's helpful to some people.
Excellent. Yes, yes. And we have a few questions here.
All right.
Okay.
Well, let's see. Let's get.
The first, and one that came in even before the show, is trying to compare Keep to Evernote and OneNote. And they're different. You know, you're not going to be able to do. I know you haven't used Evernote, but OneNote or any other.
No.
Yeah.
No.
They are more for
Post-it notes. Post-it notes was on.
and that's what Google Keep is for quick.
Yeah.
For quick and kind of temporary. Evernote has, and OneNote as well, has something called notebooks or folders. You know, you are kind of forced into organizing by notebooks or folders. And Keep doesn't have that, but what does it have that is really the same concept is the labels, right? You know, I mean, you see that list of labels on the left, just like in Evernote, you see your list of notebooks. And when you click on a label, you see just the notes that are labeled by that thing. So that's
100%.
But still, just I would not use Google Keep for my tax records, you know, like I did with Evernote.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You don't have the exact same. Yeah. No, I mean, it's always based on Google security, but a lot of times you have your Keep notes. Even if somebody just taps on Keep, they're going to see all your notes right away. So that's a good point. I would just limit that part of it.
Right. And Evernote had something where you could password protect a notebook, you know, and there is none of that in Google Keep. Okay.
That's right.
So
that's
we
correct.
had some other questions.
What was that, Jim? I saw the post, but
Well, let's see. Keep has advantages. Kathy wants to know, how do you set up to share the notes?
okay, so this is a G product. All right, so you have to have a G account. You can say it on your side, but I don't want to do that and set people's devices off. So you can share with anybody that you have in your contacts. You can share with that, but as far as I know, they're going to need a G account as well. I'm pretty sure of that because you can only share between G accounts. So what you would do is on the note, you would click, and I don't want to bring it up only because I don't want to share somebody else's Gmail or whatever.
Right.
I mean, I could do that with you or whatever. I don't know if you want yours. I don't care if mine gets exposed, but let's not do that. Let's not share that. But anyway, let's not do that. So what you would do is you would just go in there. When you go to the bottom, there's 3 dots, and you would, let me just go to one real quick so I can just make sure that I'm telling you exactly right. If I go
don't
on
tell
one
these
and I
people
click
lies. That would be bad.
That's right. That's right. And actually, on the computer, there's a little man with a plus sign as an image. You would hit that, and that's called Collaborator. And I can actually show you that. Let me show you that real quick. I can show you that far. I just don't have to go into it after that. So what it happens is when I go into this note, down at the bottom, there's a little man with a plus sign. It says Collaborator right there. So I can click on that. Then I would be able to collaborate and by entering someone's email that I want to share with. So they have to be, I think, in your contacts, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure of that. And then you can collaborate with that person. My wife, she's on iPhone. She has iStuff. She's all on that. Same with my kids. But they all have a Gmail account. So I just share to the Gmail account that they have, and we can collaborate that way. It works. So I think that answers your question.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
And
okay, let's see. Oh yeah, Bonnie says, I love Keep. Indeed.
convert all my to-do lists. I want to show one other thing.
No,
The
okay.
to-do lists. I searched for years. I mean, if I don't write it down, I forget it. I'm not going to do it. A to-do list is so powerful for me, but a to-do list is no good if I don't look at it. And I found that Google Keep, to-do list I have pinned to the top of my Google Keep, and then on my Android device, there is a widget to put a note. So here is my to-do list, front and center on my number one home screen. So every time I look at my phone, I see, and if it's all there, but I didn't want it to take up the whole screen. So I actually will get things done if I see it every time I turn on my phone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Julie asked if the transcription is fairly accurate, and yeah.
I would say yes.
I'm
thought on that,
impressed.
yes, I am. I mean, it might miss a couple of things. And like she said, on some of the handwritten recipes, sometimes it doesn't always get some things right. But most of the stuff from the exactly, you can edit it, and even taking pictures like at an angle on the back of my TV because I didn't want to pull my TV out. I just turn it back there and do that. And the light's different because of the flash and all that kind of stuff. It picks up a lot of accurate things.
Oh yeah, I just did it with an oven I have, and I did it with a watch I had to send back for replacement. I can't read that serial number, but you take a thing there, it's in keep, and you want to keep it there. So now it's there, and I use it for all sorts of things. Absolutely.
There's a lot more features too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Do you use Keep extensions? Google Keep for web as a Chrome extension. Do you use the Chrome plugin stuff?
Yeah, that's a good question. I personally do not use, I like to limit the extensions that I have. And I know that they have PWA, it's called Progressive Web Apps, and Keep has an option for that. It just means that you have a window that's constantly open that has that, and you can do that as well. I personally prefer, and I just do it this way, is just have a tab open in Chrome. Okay. That I pin that tab and I have it there and I can always access it. For me, I have certain tabs that I do on my Chrome where I pin them in an order, no matter what computer or device or Chromebook I'm on.
That's
I can
cool
sit there and I know right where they are. So that's what I do instead.
I do use it for one thing, to capture web pages. I mean, if I'm reading an article on the web and I say, oh, this is, and I want to read it later and I don't use any of those other things, I just want to grab it and keep so I remember to go look at it again. There is, and I can show this if you, I set up the Google Keep extension and it looks like a little keep icon up on my toolbar, and I have an article up that I say I want to add to a keep note. You just click it and it captures that note and it lets you say, my wish list on Google Photos. So I can type a little note, and when I create note, then it is saving the link to that article with whatever I choose to type about it. So that's I find that handy.
Very nice. I like that. I don't use it that way, but I like that one. That's a good one to add. Okay. I'm gonna have to add that to my functionality there. I love that little shortcut that I did at first, where you hold it for a second or two. Seriously, I use that religiously. That is one of my absolute favorites. If you, and once you learn and make that muscle memory that you just do that whenever you want to take a quick note, and it might be something like, oh, I need a code to get in somebody's, gate or whatever. If it's a gated community, just real quick, I can just have it and do it. It's just that quick. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I did not know that one. And I said, that's how I've always been doing this and this and this. Just touch and hold, and you have it right there.
Okay, Bill has a question. Is there a way to get the keyboard to not pop up in front of the keep screen?
And he must be talking about like on mobile, maybe?
Yeah, I expect so. Or on a Chromebook.
I don't know. When my keyboard pops up, but it stays at the bottom half of the screen, and then the keep note is above it. So
right.
I don't, If you don't want the keyboard to show up at all because you want to draw or something, then you turn off the keyboard by
Yeah, I'm not sure.
going
I would.
by tapping the back button.
Yeah, same for me. It does the same for me. Yes, it works exactly like yours. It takes up half the screen and does that. So I'm not sure exactly. But yeah, if you would please explain a little bit clearer or what you're seeing, that'd be great. Let us know.
Bonnie wants to know, is there a way to figure out how many notes you have?
Yeah, I told Chris this the other day. I told her all you have to do when you just archive, right?
Well, no,
And
just
select
select.
all.
Yeah, you don't even have to
Yeah.
archive. I mean, on mine, if you want to show the computer,
Yeah.
on mine,
Yeah.
if you can, just like in photos, you can select and select and select, but unlike in photos, Google Keep has a select all with Control A. Notice I just clicked on 2 and it says 2 selected. If I do a Control A, it says 802 selected. So that's how many notes I have, 802 notes.
And she has a lot more than I do.
I've been using it for years. I don't use it as good as you do, but I have been using it for a long time.
Okay. I don't see any other questions.
We good?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Wow.
So,
Is it time for that already?
I think so.
All right. So, sign up for our free newsletters. geeksontour.com. You can click that QR code there. That would be just fine. Subscribe to our channel. That really helps us. Click that bell to be notified. Remember the Backstage Pass for premium members. It's an advantage. It's a benefit. It's a Zoom meeting. Chris sent out
You'll
the
be
link
joining us,
earlier.
right, Michael?
Yeah, I can stick around for a while. Absolutely. Yes.
Okay,
I
thank
appreciate
you.
it too.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
a different link, but I know that you have it, so. Okay, so, and we'd like to see the other folks out there too. Well, did you learn something?
All right.
We have questions.
And
can
I'm going to ask
shout out your answers.
Michael to give us the answers.
Which of these is not a way to organize notes in Keep? A, labels, B, colors, C, notebooks, or D, penning?
That would be C, notebooks. There's no notebooks in Google Keep. I don't even know what they are. Chris would have to tell you what notebooks are.
Yeah, they're more like folders, but labels, and that's across all Google products, right? It's kind of labels rather than notebooks or folders. Okay.
Gotcha.
Google Keep will sync your notes across A, Android, B, web, C, iOS, D, all of the above.
Well, that one's fairly simple because it's all of the above. And I love this because even today, when I told my wife, I said, oops, there you go. See, when I told, it's so funny that talked to you today. I told my wife, I said, hey, I'm going on the Geek Show. And she said, you know what I don't like about Geek is I can never find anything. So I showed her search and all that stuff. And so we had a little demo today, and it works on her iOS device. She loved it. So,
Really?
so the wife learned a little something today. It was awesome.
Yeah, you can search, it took me years before I did any kind of labels or colors. All I do is search and it'll find, all I have to know is one word that is somewhere in my note and it will find it.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. True or false? Notes in Gkeep take up space in your G1 cloud storage allotment.
I've taught you well, Jim. That is absolutely false. Right now, it is false, and we're knocking on wood for that, right? Because we want to keep it that way. I love it. All the pictures, all the images, all the sound files, all that stuff. None of it counts toward your Google One cloud storage. And there I go, and I'd go and say it. So I'd probably set your device off.
Okay.
Only sometimes.
Only sometimes.
She's just not always listening, I guess.
Right.
I got you.
Which of the following can
Oops.
you
Can.
she said can. You not search for notes by A, text and photos, B, date, C, colors, or D, labels?
be awesome if they all work, but date is one that it does not work with. And that's a shame because there's a lot of times where if you have a date in there that you want to, or around a date, like if I wanted to see all my notes from April or something like that, or recap, or if you're into archiving, I know a lot of people archive a lot of their stuff, just throw it into archive. And then they're like, they have loose notes sitting up there, but then they start to build a lot of notes and they want to be able to archive it and send it, but they want to find specific notes and they can't. They have to remember what that note is. It'd be nice to be able to pull up just April's notes or something like that. So send feedback.
And that is crazy. I mean, coming from the Google Photos world, date is the number one way that everything is. And in Google Keep, your notes do have the date that they were created
It's
and the
there,
date
modified.
last modified. The dates are there, and yet you can't search by them.
Okay. True or false, when you record a voice note, you also get a written transcription.
Oh my goodness, we said this numerous times. Of course, yes, that's true. We love that one. I love that the fact that it does that because anybody that knows me, I don't type well and spell well.
Save the best for last there, recording a voice note.
That's
Yes. Right. Okay. Oh, well, thank you so much, Michael, for doing this. You know,
Thank you.
Maybe someday I'll have to bring you on for Google Sheets. I have a few questions on Google Sheets. I know that's even more your favorite than Google Keep, right?
Yeah, I started off with that one. That one I started off even before Google Sheets was in existence. So yes, I've been around Sheets for a long time. But yes, absolutely, I do love that one. That's a fun one.
Or if anybody in our audience really wants to know about those things that we don't teach much, they can go to your YouTube channel? Is that the best place
I would love that.
Find you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And it's just
like you guys have membership. We have membership over there as well. You can sign in at different levels just to learn a little bit and get used to it. I know some of your members have done that in the past, and I appreciate that. That's very kind of you guys.
And vice versa, yes. And in fact, we stole Backstage Pass from you. You're the one that first started the term Backstage Pass. So we all learn from each other, and we have to because there is so much to know, so much to learn. All right.
Thanks for having me, though. I really do appreciate it. That was nice of you guys.
Oh, well.
No, it was fun. So there's the last reminder for the Backstage Pass. Your benefit as a premium member. Thanks for supporting us. Keep going. What's the webpage that lists all of our YouTube shows, Chris?
Geeksontour.com, and the menu item is YouTube show.
And the webpage that lists all of our recent newsletters.
Geeksontour.com. The menu item is blogs and news. You will find the archive of all, I think it's 15 years worth of monthly newsletters there.
Wow. A lot of stuff up there. And why do people pay $58 a year to join Geeks on Tour?
Well, there's lots of benefits. They get to ask us any question on the Q&A page, the Backstage Pass, which we've talked about, hundreds of Show Me tutorial videos and ebooks. Our Learn Google Photos book is available for no extra charge for our members. And lots of others, and some people join just to say thank you for all the stuff we do for free. So we
really appreciate you folks. How about that? Become a member, join now, subscribe to the channel. I'm Jim.
I'm Chris.
And there's Michael. Take care.
See you
Thanks
next
again.
time.
Appreciate everybody out there. Wow.